Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Real Talk. This is Season 2 of the show that we brought you last year on APSU-TV, and we have a new guest. We have a new guy that we haven't introduced yet, and we will very soon. Actually, we're going to do it right now. First, our longtime guest, and we had him on last season, Emmitt Thomas. He's in the house, ready to go. We talked with him a lot last season. We're going to have a lot more fun with him this season. But our new guest, since Bobby Horton actually graduated from Austin Peay State University as of last May, we have a new guy on the show who's making his first debut here on Real Talk. Marcus Modey is in the studio with us. He's going to be in with the studio, throughout the rest of the season. Marcus, how you doing, buddy? You ready?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good.
Man, we have a lot of topics. We're going to talk about Austin Peay football to start. They had a great game against Presbyterian in their home opener, and guys, it didn't end up the way we thought it would. I mean, there was a lot of rain delays, and you guys were on a production crew just as I was. I was up in the booth though. And I don't know what were you doing, Emmitt? What were you doing for that?
Radio. I was also in the booth.
Oh, you were in the booth.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. He was
we
doing radio.
We ate sandwiches together.
We ate sandwiches together, man. I'm sorry, I forgot that.
It's all good.
Well, he was on 91.9. If you ever want to listen to that, that's a great broadcast too. Marcus, what were you doing?
I was being a camera op up top.
Camera up top, like a wide.
No, I was on the south side 20-yard line.
South side 20-yard line. How many times? Because I don't know if you guys watched the game. There was a lot of rain delays, and I think total was 2 hours and 10 minutes.
It was a long delay.
2 hours,
to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, the first I saw the clouds coming because they were coming from the Dunn Center side of Forterra Stadium, and I was kind of this game's not gonna kick off, boys, and they're like, oh no, we're gonna get it in, we're gonna get it in. Okay, and then here comes lightning, boom, right in front of us, and I'm like, okay, yep, there it goes. And sure enough, 30-minute delay, that turned into an hour and 10-minute delay. Then they finally come back onto the field, and when they do, they run what seems to be 4 plays.
Yeah,
they were
4
3 and out. Presbyterian offense went 3 and out and had this stupid fumble because they were literally kicking into the wind on the punt, and you guys saw that, right?
Yeah.
Stupid fumble because the ball went straight up into the air, into the wind, stopped right at the 50-yard line. The punt returner was still 20 yards downfield and saying, get away, get away. But you're 20 yards away from the punt returner. You're thinking you're safe, and it just comes straight down onto the guy's foot, and Presbyterian falls on it. And that's how the first drive ends and begins, and then another rain delay for another 50 minutes. So we get 4 plays in. Austin Peay's already messed up, and we're going back into the locker rooms for another 50 minutes. I mean, what was let's say from your end, Emmitt, you're on the radio side, what was your complications with the whole rain delay? Did you have any, or did you just kind of throw it to music for an hour?
We had to kind of keep the listeners updated, so it was kind of hard because we were trying to talk without using in-game material, so it was kind of tough. But we just kept wondering how it would affect the morale of the team. Like, you're amped up to play your first home game, and this happened. So we were just kind of like hoping that AP would come out firing.
Man, I thought, honestly, I'm agreeing with you. I thought they would just out of nowhere just take off because there's so much energy that's just building up in that locker room, and probably they're mad. Like, I just want to get this game played, guys. Like, come on. I'm sure a lot of those guys were like, I don't care if there's lightning. Let me get out there, man. Let me hit somebody. Right. And you were running camera. Were you in a spot that was dry?
Yes, I was.
Did you almost say yes, sir?
No. Hey, it's a habit. It's a habit.
I like it.
He was raised right.
Keep that energy.
Memphis made.
Yeah, Memphis made.
So you were dry the entire time. You didn't have to take down, deconstruct, or put back up.
No, I was just up there.
You got the lucky spot then.
Indeed. But
see, that's going to be his thing. Bobby was good news.
Yeah.
His is going to be indeed. I can already tell you right now. That's what's going to be his. So guys, we have a lot to talk about with Austin Peay. They did have that great game against Presbyterian that I looked a little bit sloppy, and I'm not talking about the conditions. But they won the game 24-0. That's the best they could do. Now they went to Morehead State this past weekend, and holy offense. But where did the defense go?
That was my whole point. I knew they would beat Morehead and pretty much dominate them offensively. But if you told me Moorhead would put up 40, I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah, laughed. I mean,
Definitely.
I mean,
pointed
and
and
not, and not just a laugh. I'm talking about one of those good ha. Like it would have been bad. Like it would have been like chill out. Moorhead State for like what was the score of the game last year?
60 to 60 something, like 68 to 20 or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 40, that's a little excessive. So
No defense play, just flat out.
just a shootout. Now they did score the most touchdowns in school history and points.
That's a fact.
So
Is it really?
11 TDs, I believe.
11 TDs.
That's a school record. Was it
Believe
a
so.
tied record or broken record? I'm testing you because I don't know. See, that's the thing. You could have told me yes or no, and I would have believed you if it was like.
See. All I read was school record 11 TDs.
Okay,
So I'm
we'll
gonna
just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
We're going to leave it there.
We'll leave it there.
It didn't say tied. I feel like if it was a tie, they wouldn't have said, So
So I'm assuming since y'all watched the game, and by the way, for listeners or viewers, depending on how you're listening or watching this, that game ended 78-40, and this is a team in Morehead State that I believe, if I'm wrong, tell me, they're in the Pioneer League, and that's non-scholarship,
correct.
which means these guys are they basically try out for that team.
Almost
they
like
go to
volunteer.
Morehead State and try out at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah,
Or
pretty
do
much. They go. It's more of like an academic type school, and they
Yeah.
go, and then they just kind of.
Well, this is what I've heard. They don't get athletic scholarships, but they get academic scholarships
yeah,
that
yeah,
only some of these athletes seem to receive. Is that kind of on the right page?
That's about on track.
You're
so
right
it's
on that.
so it's like it's not an athletic scholarship, but you're not going there because of your academics,
So to say.
Right.
So to say.
right? It's just like a loophole in the system.
Yeah, finesse.
Right.
A little finesse.
But anyway, I mean, these guys are not OVC. They used to be, but they're not anymore. And the fact that they scored 40 points on a defense that was supposed to be super improved kind of scares me.
It's a head scratcher.
Kind of scares
It is a
me.
head scratcher.
Especially going into UT Martin this coming weekend. I remember last season, UT Martin was one of the best rushing attacks besides Austin Peay and Jacksonville State. They were one of the best rushing attacks in the OVC. And the fact that we stopped them to 0 points
Spoke volumes
to our defense. And the fact that our defense looks like it's going to be our weak point going in, of course, based on Morehead State's performance, that kind of scares me a little bit. What do you think?
It scares me a lot. Just can't be lackadaisical coming into next week. Just plain and simple, because UT Martin's a good team. They can blow you out the water. If you playing lackadaisical, they will capitalize.
Yeah. And they did last year. They had a stud running back.
Oh, he had that work.
Is he still there?
I don't know. I hope not.
I'm going to that game.
I hope not.
I hope not.
I'm
Because
going
I believe he's a senior. I believe he was a senior.
Okay.
his agility, like his ability to just cut. It was something.
He was
something
definitely
to
a one
watch.
cut
Yeah,
back.
it was
Like
something to
he
watch.
found the hole and made the cut, and he was gone.
Yeah, just put one
Yeah.
foot in the ground and he was hitting it. So I do remember that. But offensively, they're fine.
Yeah.
Picking up right where they left off, distributing the wealth, getting everyone involved. Still mixing it up with the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Oswald, Javon Craig.
That's a
and
good
then-
point. What do y'all think about that dual quarterback system? To me, I'm going to tell you my opinion right off the bat. I love it. I think it's great that you can have two quarterbacks that are exactly the same in play style, and along with you have four running backs that are all see decent minutes in the game, decent touches as well, and they're all performing. There's only one running back, I believe it's Trey Nation, that is not over 100 yards rushing, but you have Kentel Williams, who against Morehead State put up 8 rushes for 181 yards, 22 yards per carry, and 3 touchdowns. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, the leading rusher on Austin Peay's team for the season so far is Jeremiah Oatsfall with 185 yards in 3 games. Kentel is 181 in 1 game.
I mean, the guy averaged like 5 yards a carry last year. So
Yeah. So, I mean, what do y'all think about that dual quarterback system?
To me, I'm old fashioned in the sense that I feel like you need one quarterback. However, I will say if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Like you're
Yeah.
keeping it works for this offense because it keeps the defense guessing and like they can't just come in with a strict game plan and just follow that. They have to actually, okay, Javon Craig's in the game. How are they going to run this offense? How's this play going to come? They never know what to expect. So it keeps them off balance, and it works because they are a running team anyway. So
Now-
you can mix it up.
Well, we were kind of talking about this, me and you, Marcus,
Yeah.
kind of pre-production. You're kind of on the other side of that spectrum.
Yep, just because that you want to get quarterbacks in a rhythm, typically. In the
Yeah.
old-fashioned ways, you would love to get guys in rhythm. and chemistry. So sometimes J.O. might have a good chemistry with DJ. Craig might have a chemistry with another guy. So with different guys, different packages, even though it can be a plus, it can always be a minus as well.
Do you like the idea of that dual quarterback system going into not just UT Martin but going into Jacksonville State? A game that you have to win if you want to even think about an OVC title.
I'm not just sold right there on the Jacksonville State. It's just also another thing is that we brought up. You can't do that dual system when you're down.
Right.
And Austin Peay right now, they've been up a lot.
True.
So when you're down, you're going to have to stick with one quarterback. And then, like Emmitt just said, once that one quarterback is in there, it's going to be easy to watch film and know, okay, this quarterback, they like to do this. They like to do this play, that play.
Find your one guy. And
Exactly.
then just kind of
I-
run him
I'm-
into the dirt. If you
I'm
will.
on the fence. Like I see both sides of the argument pretty much. Like I do definitely understand that one guy kind of helps the chemistry of the team as a whole when
Pick
it
a
comes to
side.
and
Pick a
I
side.
can't. Now you give me about 2 more weeks. I got you.
So you're gonna wait till after Jacksonville?
That's Jacksonville.
I got
after.
you.
That's after, though.
No, I'm just playing.
Emmitt,
Give me
I'm
one.
disappointed.
Give me after Martin.
I'm disappointed.
Give me after Martin. I'm
So-
still indifferent right now. We haven't played in OVC yet, so give me after Martin.
That's true. We got this coming weekend is our first OVC football game. I say our, but it's there. I'm not on the team.
Yeah,
We don't broadcast for the team, unfortunately, unless you guys want to pick us up and
I mean,
sponsor
we
us.
would love to.
I would love
we would
to.
love to do that. You know?
I mean,
Yeah.
we could be that trio, that team.
Yep.
You know. So what's your before we head over to the NFL? Talk real fast. What do you think is going to happen against UT Martin? What do you think is going to happen against Jacksonville State? We know UT Martin's a pretty good defensive team. They used to have a pretty good running attack. What do y'all think about those two matchups? Do you think Austin Peay can pull it out away both games?
I think of course they have a chance in both games. However, Martin, I believe, is a W.
Yeah.
I mark that as a W. I feel like it's going to be a tough game, probably 14-7 type thing.
Yeah, kind of like last year.
Kind of like last year.
7-0.
Kind of like last year.
year.
It
Yeah.
won't be a shootout or anything. Jacksonville, on the other hand, I feel like that's going to be a bit more high scoring on both sides, and I feel
Okay.
like Jacksonville might edge them out.
Yeah.
Simply because Austin Peay hasn't played well against non-conference opponents yet. I mean, PC and Moorhead. Now, granted, offensively they have, but defensively that's the kind of head scratcher. And going on the road against Jacksonville State, who has already lost to North Carolina A&T, they're not going to be playing around when Austin Peay comes to town.
At
So
all.
they're going to have to bring it defensively if they want to win that game. And I just feel like, from what I've seen so far, I can't confidently say Austin Peay is going to beat Jacksonville State.
For me, I say against UT Martin, feel like the Govs will win 21-17. A little close. Against Jacksonville, I feel like it's going to be another close game. I got to give the eggs to Jacksonville State. They're also at home, and
That's big.
that's going to be very big because in Jacksonville State, they don't play. Just strictly.
They really don't. I mean, last year, we lost to Jacksonville State, by 2 touchdowns?
Right.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, and that was at Forterra Stadium. Now, this year, we do also have a better team all around. We have
Especially
we have a better
defensive line.
offense. We have more
Yeah.
depth at the defensive positions. You know, we have big pickups like Austin Malota, who's played 32 career games at Oregon, like the
Yeah.
Oregon.
Yes.
Ducks.
The Ducks. So, I mean, we have the team, but can they perform?
Yeah.
And one thing I like also, before we head over to the NFL, I like the fact that we got this depth at cornerback, and finally we don't see these guys consistently 10 yards off the line of
Oh,
scrimmage.
they used to irk us last
It made
year.
me
They
so
were
mad.
giving Terrence Newman level cushions.
Oh,
it
man.
was
Like,
awful.
it
I mean, 10 yards of
compete.
cushion, and then they were
Compete.
like throwing their arms up when they ran like a slant or an
Slant.
out for 3 yards and got a first down. I'm like, guys, you got to press them. But I don't think they had at that point. I don't think they had
the experience.
the experience yet, and
And the
now
depth
they've had
and
a
the
season.
confidence.
And the confidence.
Right. Now they
Confidence
have the
plays a role.
season. They've had a few wins under their belt, and I think they're a little bit more confident to get right up, up and close with a receiver. And I love that. And I think we've gotten a lot of interceptions off that. And I think it's changed the way Austin Peay has played defense. So absolutely love that. So again, Austin Peay is playing UT Martin this weekend. At UT Martin, so if you can go to that game, that's awesome. We'd love to see you there. I'm going to be there. If you want to, talk to me about anything, I'd love to talk to you. I guess we probably don't have fans. If we do, hey, how you doing? So let's move on to the NFL. Titans have a weird season going right now. Very weird. That Miami game's haunting me. So, so after we get done with the Austin Peay game, that is an hour, 2 hours and 10-minute delay, I come home, go to sleep, wake up, and I'm like, yes, I'm off of work. I don't have school today because it's Sunday. It's football Sunday. I can sit back and relax. A non-delayed Titans game, and it just so happens to be the longest
NFL game.
the longest game in NFL history.
In NFL history.
7 hours that game took. And I have to say, I think it had a lot to do with the outcome. I don't know.
Sure, you can't prepare for a 7-hour football game. It was just, it's hard to get in the rhythm. It's hard to get guys to stay focused. Younger guys that might have been their first time playing on special teams, things that it's a lot of things factored into that. Then it being wet and slippery in itself too. It was just a lot going on.
One thing I just realized.
Poor officiating.
My bad. One thing I realized that in those 7 hours, each time there's a break, your guy's not gonna get a good stretch in each and every time.
Nope.
So injuries could play a toll in that long breaks.
Yeah, that's a good segue because the Titans did have a lot of injuries in that game. And
I mean,
I want to highlight a couple of them because obviously they're huge injuries. First of all, Taylor Lewan, that should have been.
he should have gotten fined.
He should have gotten
all kind of
fined. I think they actually they did nothing.
They did
to
nothing.
that
Nothing.
call. He came out with a concussion on a crackback block.
Mhm.
And on a helmet-to-helmet
Helmet.
crackback block, which is
Which
two
is
things they're trying to get, rid of in the NFL.
Entirely.
And they sat there and looked at it and said, no, there
No.
was nothing there. And the guy was unconscious on the field. And he gets up looking for a fight in 30 seconds after waking up.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's Taylor for
Lewan,
you.
that is Lewan at its.
that's-
He literally wakes up from being unconscious and he's trying to throw hands. I love it.
So you got that injury. That's huge. The blind side of now Marcus Mariota or Blaine Gabbert is up in the hands of Dennis Kelly.
He's
Is-
not a but he
is
didn't
he
play.
a tackle?
He didn't play last week because he was sick.
Oh gosh, so
He was
he's
sick.
Taylor Lewan's injured. Jack Conklin
he's
is still
coming
out
back.
with an LCL.
I think Lewan practiced today, and Dennis Kelly's out of the hospital with his virus.
But that
So,
also doesn't change the fact that we've also lost, and I talked to Emmitt about this last week, probably the biggest non-quarterback injury in Titans franchise history. Delaney Walker is out for the season with a dislocated ankle and broken tibia.
Tibula. Yeah.
Anatomy.
It's a tibia. It's a tibia.
Tibia?
I fractured my tibia in the hospital,
Tibia?
so I would
Oh.
know. Yeah, it's fibula and tibia.
Told you.
Fibula
I
and
know
Tibula.
my stuff.
Hey,
Okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My mom's
This is my show. No, I'm just
my mom's a nurse, fellas. I got you.
Nah, but okay. Honestly, you have injuries like Michael Roos. Remember that one?
Yep,
He was
that
out
was
for 12, 14 games. You had I'm trying to think of it. Javon Curse was another one that was a game one injury in 2001 that hurt the Titans big time.
This is a big one. This is a big one.
And then you had on top of that I think there was a punter that got hurt, but they called the punter one of the key injuries because after he got hurt, the floodgates of injuries opened during that year, and they just kind of used him as that keystone injury. But I looking at this, to me, this is the most significant injury in Titans franchise history, non-quarterback.
I
Yes or
agree.
no?
I agree because Marcus that's his favorite target.
Most underrated tight end in the NFL.
He is. And
Easily.
when Mariota's in doubt, he looks for Delaney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say I like it. I will say that it can help him develop quicker than he probably anticipated.
Yeah.
You don't have your safety blanket anymore. You're gonna
Right.
have to look to Rashard Matthews, Corey Davis, Tajay Sharp, which I like what I saw from Corey. We'll get to that momentarily.
To Corey
but,
from Corey Davis.
But look, he has to get more guys involved. And he has the weapons to do so. He just has to evolve now. He can't just look for Delaney. And granted, which he did all of that last year because, Terry Robisky was an awful coordinator. He literally would run post routes with just Delaney with max protection and force Mariota to throw in quadruple coverage. So
was he forcing Mariota to throw that though, or was Mariota making that decision to throw it?
I will put it to you like this: if you really go on film and watch Titans games last season, Mariota was expected, like the offense literally expected him to throw in tight windows, just based off the route combinations. He was throwing, you have a smash route and a curl route in the same boundary, like just ridiculous stuff. Like you just follow Titans Film Room on Twitter.
Titans Film Room.
A lot of stuff they just break down how awful the calling was last season.
It was pretty bad.
So with that, I feel like with this offense, he'll be fine because I like what I see from LaFleur and what he's calling. So I don't feel like it's not as big as a loss, mainly because Jonnu Smith was third-round pick. They got him to be Delaney's successor, and Delaney even stated that he feels that one day Jonnu will be better than he was. So we'll see.
Now, I want to make this clear. Marcus is not a Titans fan.
I am not. So
he's going to have to step out of his comfort zone a little bit and start learning to talk some Titans. But I think maybe out of courtesy, Emmitt, me and you might have to step out of our comfort zone and start talking Raiders.
Y'all don't have to talk about the Raiders like that.
So let's do that. Let's talk about Raiders. Marcus, why do they suck? I'm just kidding. I'm playing. But seriously though, I want to get your first comment before we move on because I want to get to one more subject before we go to our predictions. Actually, a couple subjects. What do you think about Chucky? I gotta know.
I'm still confused on that Khalil Mack trade.
Worst trade in NFL history, by the way.
But it doesn't matter 2 first-round picks because this past draft, we didn't get what we needed. Just plain and simple. The first pick, we got a tackle when we need linebackers.
Especially after that trade.
And now it makes it even worse because our best pass rusher, and we was a 24th defense.
The NFL's best pass rusher.
Arguably the NFL's leading pass
and
rusher if you take Von Miller out of the equation.
Khalil Mack's probably the best pass rusher since LT and Derek Thomas.
And he's now in the talk for a Defensive Player of the Year. And we was a 24th defense with him on the team. Now that he's gone, what you guys think we're going to be now?
Basura.
To be honest with you, nothing. I don't think the Raiders are going to do anything this year, to be honest with you. Because I don't see enough out of Derek Carr. I don't see enough out of Marshawn Lynch. I don't see enough out of that offensive line that they boast every year. I'm just not. And what kills me is I've never hated the Raiders. I've always kind of liked the Raiders because I've liked the players that were on the Raiders. I like Amari Cooper.
Oh yeah.
I liked Crabtree when he was on there. I liked Derek Carr. I like Marshawn Lynch.
Amari.
I like that crew. And I liked Khalil Mack, I never had hate for the Raiders, and it kills me to see them go through this.
Amari makes me mad, man.
Gruden, that's very Gruden-esque, though, to get rid of a defensive player like that. That's because didn't he do the same thing to Warren Sapp back in the day?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's Gruden is one of those guys who he just all about the offense.
I got a fact for you, Emmitt. Me and Aaron was talking about it earlier. John Gruden, a great coach. Guess what his win percentage is higher than? Just guess. Just throw out a number.
You said
A win percentage.
win percentage.
Win percentage.
I don't. 60.
All right. It's now over Jeff Fisher. Let me add over Jeff Fisher.
Oh, he's. Oh wow.
Over Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
Get ready, folks. Get ready.
The Eli Manning of coaches.
Jeff.
Just throw out a number, because you're going to be wrong.
I'll just let you tell me, because the Jeff Fisher stat alone just threw me off.
Okay. He is .022 better than Jeff Fisher in win percentage.
He should have just stayed as an analyst, but hey, who am I?
I agree with you. I agree with you. The Raiders have a long road ahead, and I'll tell you who has another long road ahead. I want to touch on this real fast. The Cleveland Browns. And to me, the Cleveland Browns is the most Cleveland Browns-esque 2 weeks of football that I've ever seen in my life. They go and they play after coming off an 0-16 season, the second team to ever do that. They go and play the Steelers' division rival. They tie them. Even when the Browns don't lose,
they don't win.
They don't win.
So now they're 0-1 to start their 0-16 comeback season. And the week after that, on a Monday, or not on a Monday, on like Friday, they say that they're going to release their top offensive threat in Josh Gordon, which they then trade him to the Patriots for practically nothing. Then in that game against the Saints, their kicker missed 4 field goals. He doesn't get cut, and they don't sign the second most accurate kicker in NFL history who was on the free agency in Dan Bailey.
He just got signed by the Vikings.
He just now gets signed by the Vikings, but the Browns could have had him, and they missed on him. I just wanted to touch on that.
I give up on Cleveland at this point. I don't. It doesn't matter who's in the front office. It's just tragic.
Yeah, and also I want to touch real quick on Vontae Davis. What do y'all think about that one?
Do you know how fed up you have to be to retire at halftime?
At halftime,
He
guys.
hung up the cleats at
Like,
halftime.
hey, we're going back out. No, I'm not.
Oh my
I'm
gosh!
done.
He just left.
He just left.
Oh,
He didn't tell him.
One last thing. Is Jameis done in Tampa Bay?
No. Well,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
As far as
I'm up in the air because
Okay.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's doing really well, but we all have to remember this is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's either Fitz magic or Fitz tragic.
tragic.
There's no in between.
Right. So
Mini
real
picks.
quick, I want to get to these like rapid fire predictions because this is what we kind of live for the show on. We're going to end the show with this. This is predictions for this coming week in week 3. Just kind of go around the board. Jets at Browns.
Jets.
I'm going Browns. I think the Browns are going to take it, their first win of the season. Titans at Jaguars. That's a big game that we just talked about.
Give me the Titans.
Jaguars.
Give me the Titans.
I'm going to have to say Jaguars. I hate it for them, but Jaguars all the way. Saints at Falcons.
I'll take Breeze and the crew.
I got Matty Ice.
Dirty Birds. I want the Dirty Birds. Packers at Redskins.
Pack.
Aaron Rodgers.
Packers. There's no doubt Aaron Rodgers is taking them. Colts, Eagles.
Philly.
That's not even a debate. Philly all the way. Bills, Vikings. Vikings all the
Vikings
way.
with ease.
Raiders, Dolphins. That's the toss-up game. I think Raiders can take this
I'll give it to the Raiders.
as long as it's not a 7-hour football game.
I got my team on that one.
Give me the Raiders. I'm with you, brother. Broncos at Ravens.
I got Broncos.
Give me the
Give me
Broncos.
Broncos.
I got
Give me the
Broncos. Give me
Broncos.
Denver.
Away.
Give me
Give me the Broncos. Bengals at Panthers.
I
Cam.
got the upset.
Carolina.
Bengals.
I'll take Carolina.
You want Bengals?
I'll
got
take
Bengals.
Carolina.
You're crazy.
I'll take Carolina.
Rapid
Hey.
fire. Giants, Texans.
Oh,
Texans.
snap.
Texans.
Texans.
49
Eli.
49ers, Chiefs.
Patrick
Chiefs.
Mahomes, keep rolling. Chiefs.
Chargers, Rams.
Rams.
And Todd Gurley, I'm going with the Rams.
Give me Gurley. Cowboys, Seahawks.
I'll
going
take the Stars.
I'm
I'll
going
take the Stars.
Cowboys.
I'll take
I'm
the
going
Stars.
Cowboys. Bears, Cardinals.
Bears.
Yeah, I got to take
Once
Bears.
again,
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack going to be
Patriots, Lions, not even a debate.
too much.
Patriots. And last game is on Monday, Steelers, Buccaneers.
I'm
Give
going
me the
up.
Buccaneers.
I'm going Bucks.
Give me Fitzmagic.
Fitzmagic. I guess that defense, Fitzmagic it is.
Well, Marcus, I appreciate you being on the show with us. It's going to be a great season. You know, this is your first time. You did really well. Emmitt, as always, appreciate it. This has been Real Talk, and I want to give a quick shout-out to 91.9 FM for allowing us to use their studios. We'll be back next week. Is that right on?
I like it.
Bam.
So we always doing 30?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Gotcha.
No, that one was like our intro.